Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 7 Acres Park in Everett for today's Greater Boston League matchup between the Lynn English Bulldogs and the Everett Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide enter this matchup at 3-1-1, coming off their first loss of the season to the fellow rival school in Lynn Classical. That was a score of 3-1. While the English Bulldogs, they do have a win on their schedule, on their season. They beat Lynn Classical. So you got to show up and be ready to play against this English team who can be a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde. When they play and put their game together, they can play with anyone. Sometimes they have lapses, and you can get them when they have their lapses. But I remember when the Crimson Tide played them last year, it was a pretty strong matchup. So get ready for anything here as the Crimson Tide take on the Lynn English Bulldogs. I'm Josh Delgazo, and I'll be joined alongside with my partner, Oswaldo Constanza. Oz, as you see the Crimson Tide today ready to take the field, what will be some of their keys to victory to try to get this win today?
Well, it looks like Lynn is starting off with a very defensive 4-4-2 with a diamond in the middle. So trying to break through the compactness of that defense and getting quality shots on. The goalie looks like he's got a good size. So I think that will be the most difficult part.
Absolutely. I know last year in the game we did, English scored first to take a 1-0 lead, and then the Crimson Tide answered with 3 unanswered goals. One came by way of a free kick just in front of the net. The other came by way of beautiful transition offense, and then a corner kick netted them their third goal. So two set pieces and some transition earned the Tide the victory back in April when these teams met due to the COVID-shortened season. So here they are again less than a year later. This is the normal time they would play. This is the fall season. A beautiful day out here at the newly finished 7 Acres Park. It debuted last year. If you haven't been here, you need to check it out. You have the Encore building in the background, and it's beautiful weather. One thing for sure, it's always a little windy here. I don't know if it's the wind turbine that's over in the corner, but definitely, you don't want to have too many papers ruffling around. The wind's blowing out here. So we're just getting ready to start this one off. Both teams have taken the field. I think we're just waiting for the officials to gather in some of their last housekeeping notes before we get started. I'm going to take a look at the Everett roster real quick. I do not have a Lynn English roster, so bear with us. We will give credit where it's due, but it's going to have to be called just by numbers. And I do have a Crimson Tide roster, but again, trying to hold any bit of paper out here is a little bit difficult in this regime with the wind here. I should have brought in tape, but we'll see what we can do here. So the Crimson Tide look like they'll be using goalkeeper number 1, that's senior Dominic Reyes. And Reyes will be going against the English goalkeeper. I do recognize the English goalkeeper from last year, and he saw a lot of action, and he did a pretty good job. You mentioned Oz. He's got some size to him, and he does cover the net pretty well. So look for the Crimson Tide, to, again, keep a flurry of action going his way, but you're going to want to pick your spots. He covers a lot of ground. Again, all right, looks like the officials have things set.
Yeah, it looks like they were just fixing something with the net, making sure that it was following all the safety protocols.
Okay, looks like we're underway, and these are 2 40-minute halves of running time. So we're starting, this is 4:27 in the afternoon. I'll try to keep track. We don't have a scoreboard, so I'll do my best to keep it on live time. Crimson Tide with the ball. It's number 4, sophomore Patrick Garcia, over to number 7, junior Guy Meireles. Meireles leaves it out for Tysinger Alcine. Alcine on the doorstep early. Ooh. And again, right on cue, nice kick save by the English goalie, who, right there, Oz. I mean, you saw Alcine take it right to the doorstep using his speed. Crimson Tide already threatening.
It was a good through ball from Guy, leaving Alcine to go in, but it was a good breakdown from the defense.
Garcia's corner kick just misses the reach of senior Tarek Lamedzma, excuse me. So Bulldogs will throw it in front of the Crimson Tide bench. It's number 6, Jefferson Matal, throwing it in for the Tide. And it's going to be English ball. Looks like the goalkeeper's going to set it into play. Sends it in deep. Played on by number 5 of the Bulldogs.
It was a good trap, but he got nowhere to go.
Right.
Another great ball.
Great ball out front. That's
Yeah.
right, Oz. And right on the cue with the trap. The trap created the offense going the other way.
Yeah, it looked like the wind stopped that a little bit.
We mentioned the wind. It's definitely a bit of
Yeah.
a factor.
Yeah, it looked like it more likely would have hit a little bit further, but the wind just kind of stopped it dead in its tracks.
There's the throw-in. Played on by number 18. Now the Crimson Tide have it. Alcine.
Good ball control from Everett. A little bit too far ahead of him, but he's catching it.
That is Guilherme Moraes. Over to Guilherme Moraes. I know there's been a few Moraeses that have played here, I believe, over the years. I remember calling that last name.
Yeah, there was Kyle Moraes who
That's
played
right.
several years ago. I don't believe there's any relation,
Oh, okay.
but Guy's a very talented player. I didn't go to the game, but I saw a couple of videos of his goal against Malden that was about from 40 yards out.
Wow.
It was a great goal.
Yeah. Anytime you can strike from that
Yep.
distance, you know you have a boot on you.
Yeah.
Chipped on nicely by the Bulldogs, but a little bit of English on that ball finds the Tide. Looks like Tysinger Alcine will be a big part of that Crimson Tide offense. That's number 9, who you'll find running up the sideline. A lot of speed. He has it right now. Nice defense there by Lynn English's number 3. And then cleared out nicely by number 2. Again, forgive us for no roster here for Lynn English. I will credit numbers and, of course, credit the play as I see it. But Luan Cruz. That is Moraes. Ooh. Nicely done, knocked out of play. The Tide will have it. Throw in. Looks like Patrick Garcia is going to handle the throw-in. Oz, is that typical that you'll have a defender handle that, or is it just whoever you feel has best control with getting the ball in play?
Defender usually, because you
Okay.
want to have your attackers in positions towards the goal. So the more attackers you could have up there, the better.
That makes sense. That's Cruz. Cruz looking for Alcine. Nice breaks by Alcine. Back over to Cruz. Nice little two-man game right there. Now this is Dan Cadet. We called Cadet's name last year. He had a couple goals in that Lynn English game. He's a solid player. He's a senior. Garcia over to Alcine. Working in a telephone booth, huh? He's in a lot of traffic over there. That's the other side of the field. That's number 6, Jefferson.
The movement of the ball right now from Everett's really good. Starting from the left all the way to the right. Just couldn't finish the pass to the corner there.
That's right, stretching the defense side to side, utilizing the real estate. So far, Crimson Tide have been controlling the time of possession on the attack. 0-0 here. We are just over 5 minutes into game action. This is the first half, 0-0. Again, as we mentioned, these will be 2 40-minute halves running time. Of course, a little bit of extra time will be added on due to any timeouts in the field or injuries or whatnot. Oh, nice pass out front. But unable to corral it. Nice job by English. Ooh, that's collision right there. But it was all ball.
Still on the ground.
We will have a whistle for the injury. A little bit of body there, Oz, but was it the right? I mean, if you get ball first, I mean, I guess that does enable you.
Yeah, no, that was clean. That was clean. It was just the clash afterwards.
Sure.
That there was some impact there, but it was a clean tackle from what I saw.
So on his feet first, the Crimson Tide, that's number 4, sophomore Patrick Garcia. He appears okay. And for English, he's back up on his feet too. I think that is might be number 11. We'll get a look at it. Might have been knees colliding, which certainly will result in some pain, but if you can keep it
Might have
moving
been the
around.
chins, actually,
Right. That's
which
number
happens
one.
from the clash.
Okay, so both players do have to step off the field for just a moment. You can hear the official saying, we'll get you right back on once you clear whatever. It must be a protocol of some sort of safety protocol.
Yeah, whenever stoppage time occurs and trainer has to go onto the field, the player that was on the ground has to step off for at least a moment, just for precautionary measures.
And actually, it looks like the Crimson Tide will. Checking into the game for the Crimson Tide is number 2. That's senior Roberto Racinos. So he'll actually check into the game and replace Garcia for the time being.
It's a good lead.
Nice job by Cruz, staying with it, putting the brakes on.
It's a great find. Ooh, just a little bit too far ahead.
Tide offense starting to control this one. Let's see if they can crack the code. That's going to be taken on by John Perkins, the last line of defense.
That was a great move by Luan up there and a great find to Cadet. Cadet just, touch wasn't there. The idea was there, but the touch wasn't.
Well, I'd like to see them revisit that because I bet the touch will be there later on. That's a strong connection, too. Again, I talked at length with Cadet, and Cruz was also, he shined in last year's action. I of course, remember Guilherme Moraes and Moraes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some nice returning players here for this Crimson Tide team to blend with some solid young players there in the sophomore class as well.
Yeah, Luan is a 4-year varsity member. He's actually from the last class of players that I coached. And he was always extremely skillful and intelligent on the ball.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can see that experience really paying dividends out in the field. That's right. We want to mention to our audience, Oz was the previous soccer coach here. Did a great job at the helm. About, was it 6 years at the helm, Oz?
Yeah, exactly 6 years. Ooh,
Yeah.
good strike.
Right when I came onto the studio. Oz still a member of our Everett High School faculty, and he's a full-time dad.
Yeah.
Does a great job in our school.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you on the call with me, Oz. I'm usually doing this by myself, and I get to reap the benefits of an expert on the call, so it helps me out.
I don't know about an expert, but I'm thankful to have the opportunity to be here and to watch the game. Haven't been able to make it to a ton of games, but
happy to be calling you with you, and this is, like I said, great day out. Nice day out. A little bit of wind, but not complaining. It's pretty nice weather. Nice job by Cruz. Oh, beautiful touch over to Cadet. Nice touch by Guilherme Moraes.
good find.
Ooh. I tell you, that's a nice save because it was redirected. It still kind of went through the wickets fairly clean, but again, you have a little bit of a redirect, and it might look easy from up here, but when you're down in that goal and the ball's coming at you, you got to corral it clean.
Good header from Perkins.
Nice job, Perkins. We mentioned just checked into the game, making his presence felt on the defensive end. That's Matal looking for Cruz. Cruz really doing a nice job, just kind of weaving his way up the field. That one was intercepted, but
one of the big differences I see with Cruz specifically is 17 shows some speed. That's something to watch out for. Cruz has put on muscle since he was a freshman, and you can really see players start to bounce off of him a little bit right now. He's a lot bigger than them, which is a stark contrast to what he was when he was a freshman. He was this very skinny kid. He was always tall, good height to him.
Yeah, he's definitely good size. You can see his strength.
Yep.
And there's Cadet working deep down in English territory. But, again, English so far is they've been able – they've had some close calls, but their defense has bailed them out a few times. But, again, they're going to the well a little bit deep. I think the Crimson Tide will take those chances as they score themselves throughout the game. Good job defensively by number 2 of the Bulldogs, but Tide still have it. I think that's just shy of a corner. I think it's going to be a throw-in. I think it.
Yeah.
So a throw-in attempt, and we have substitutions coming in for the Crimson Tide. Checking into the game. Let's see if I can see that number. It's a double-digit number. Checking out is number 12, Tarek.
That was a very. I don't know what happened to the Lynn defense there, but they just gave him a practice shot.
Wow. And just like that.
The goalie didn't react. There was a wide open, and Moraes just took it. That, like I said, that was a gimme.
So junior Guy Meireles with the goal. Finds the back of the net.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Moraes.
Moraes, Guy Moraes, my correction. My mistake. Number 8, senior Guy Moraes with the goal. Yeah. And Moraes buries it, and it was kind of almost a fluky goal, if you will. I mean,
it was just the defense fell asleep there.
Right.
You know, he's at the top of the box.
Kind of lulled them to sleep a little bit. It wasn't expecting it. Kind of caught me off guard.
The defense just split, and they didn't respond, and left the goalie to be target practice.
I put my head down on my notes for a second. I missed it. Normally, I'd be falling off the dumpster in the elation, but, you know, there was not a dumpster. We're in a storage container. I'm sorry. That'd be a little different if this was a dumpster. Nice job defensively getting back there. That's another sophomore, Ricardo Almeida, number 14 for the Tide. Just getting back there, clearing it out, letting his team reset defensively. As now English is trying to at least get into the Crimson Tide's zone. We haven't seen them on this end of the field very often here in this first half.
No, I haven't been able to gauge what the attack looks like. I've only been able to see that number 19's got a lot of quickness to him.
17 does too. 17 looks like he's got some speed as well for Lynn English. We're about 15 minutes into the first half.
See if we could switch the ball over here.
It's 1-0 Crimson Tide on a goal scored by Guy Moraes. Looking for Elsine, just out of the reach of Tysinger Elsine. I'm telling you, Tysinger's going to get one. I feel like he's back there the whole time. Nice job by Perkins. Heads it back to his goalkeeper. The senior's done a great job since he's checked into this game.
It's a good move from Meireles.
Meireles out in front looking for Elsine. And that's going to be a corner kick upcoming.
You could see the chemistry of those two, and you can also see the benefit of hard work. I see those guys after practice still working out a lot of times. I'll go down and take my daughter to soccer practice with the little kids, and those kids are still out there practicing.
They're
awesome. Still not just playing soccer, but doing drills, like doing activities to get better.
Well, it's that dedication and hard work that shows up on the field. And you mentioned to it, that chemistry, it's there. You can see it. And when you're putting in that kind of work like that after hours, you're going to develop that chemistry. Nice save there by the English goalkeeper. So far, it's been all Everett in this one. It's only 1-0, but the Crimson Tide have had all the pressure. And that's a beautiful touch out front. And then, oh, what a save.
You got it again, though.
Wow. What a save by the Bulldogs goalkeeper. And then the rebound, and it was a defense. I believe it caught a body of the defense to knock it out. But
it was a good recovery from the defense. I think Meireles was a little bit shocked that it fell right back to his foot.
Absolutely. But Meireles, great pressure. Couple nice shots off his left foot. Oh, that's not a corner. Okay, it must have just went out. Throw-in for the Tide. It's going to be another throw-in.
I would like to see somebody take advantage of that gap that we're seeing. Well, number 8 sneaking in there right now.
Okay. I think they were hearing you. If it was maybe just if the throw had a little more arc on it, or maybe just a little bit behind, they could have found that gap. Looked like number 8 for the Tide. Yeah. Moraes was trying to position himself right there. Good eyes.
It would have been a tough spot for him to get it. I would have liked to see Luan have move into that spot a little bit and see if we could get him there.
Again, you mentioned that speed. Good speed by Lynn English's number 17, and a nice job by Almeida of the Crimson Tide to get back and challenge him. And we're going to have a throw-in coming up for the Bulldogs. Cruz comes up with the interception, the steal, and now it is Meireles.
See what decision he makes here. Good.
Nice lead up in front to Alcine. Back to Meireles. There's that chemistry we've talked about. Back to Alcine. And he's joined by his teammates. Oh,
Great
nice.
find.
Nice look. Comes back out to Garcia. Garcia's going to put his right foot into it, but that is out of play. But again, if you're Coach Blas, you have to like what you're seeing early on. The Crimson Tide moving the ball very well, getting into their spots.
I think we're playing a little too direct at this point, where if we start using the entire field, we might see more holes developing in the defense of Lynn. Because right now we just went up the entire left side of the field. The right side did not see the ball at all.
Yeah.
And if we could get that ball on that side and let some of the players on the other side make decisions, I think we'll start seeing bigger holes there.
That's a good point. Well, this is Cadet. He's no stranger to scoring goals. That's out of bounds. Oh, no, stays in.
Stayed in.
Perkins will play it on, looking for Matal. Bulldogs trying to get something going, but again, Perkins right there to turn it aside defensively.
Yeah, good pressure cover balance from the Everett defense there. As soon as the ball went there, Perkins saw it, moved up, and his teammates covered him perfectly.
Played on by Almeida. Now Cruz has it. Alcine's waiting for it. And he looks for Meireles up the left sideline. Let's see if they can cross it over.
Ooh. I wasn't watching that offside line.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's tough from our angle.
Yeah.
Looks very close.
Yeah.
I'll default to the officials and say he had the better look at it than I did, but it did look close from here. Tough angle for us to really see it. Almeida along with Mattel and Perkins back for the Crimson Tide defensively, and it's Perkins who's going to kick it out of bounds, but it did hit an English player, so it's going to be Crimson Tide throwing, and we're going to have substitutions coming in. Looks like a couple changes for both teams. Checking in for the Crimson Tide. Well, checking out, I can see number 11, Dan Cadet, is checking out. Checking in is number 16, Emerson Hercules, along with number 19, Richard Jante. And also checking out for the Crimson Tide, sophomore number 22, Brian Martinez. Bulldogs will throw it in front of their bench. We're just over 20 minutes played here in this first half. And that save is made by Dominic Reyes. That's the first shot on goal for the Bulldogs. Nice defensive play by the Bulldogs, taking it away from Alcine. Tide are going to have to get back. Bulldogs threatening. Centering pass, headed on. Out in front, nice save by Reyes. Still, another big save by Reyes. Wow, Dominic Reyes. After seeing his first shot, he's got a couple right back to him.
Yeah, it's a good reaction from Dominic.
And that's going to go out of play. And, I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, Oz. You know, when your goalkeeper goes a long time without seeing a shot, sometimes he can, get a little cold in net, if you will. And that was a pretty good job by Reyes, staying ready and then seeing 3 quick ones, coming up with the big save. That ball went completely out of play. We're going to have to retrieve a ball from the sideline because I think that ended up somewhere in the marsh.
They have a ball coming in right now.
Yeah. I think that one's a souvenir, though. I don't know. Throw-in goes deep. Played on by English's number 18. Alcine gets a foot on it before it's cleared up in the air. And that's going to be Crimson Tide ball on the throw-in. Nice job by the Tide. Moraes over to Cruz. That's Jante who just checks into the game. Yeah, I saw a little extend there.
Yeah.
That's going to draw the foul, so Crimson Tide ball. Nice job by Meireles. Correction, Moraes. I'm sorry. They're both 7 and 8, and their first names are Guy, so my apologies. Both players are having a strong game, though, so that part I have right. All right, so add a play here. It's going to be Bulldogs ball. Got some dogs in attendance here. I see. Looks like we got a husky, a Nikita.
Yeah.
Animal friendly here down at 7 Acres Park.
Another guy down there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Good collection of animals running around. I like it. This is a great spot. Folks, if you haven't checked it out, 7 Acres Park in Everett, got to see it. Good stuff. The ball did come back. Okay, that's
Great
redirected.
win.
Good hustle by Alcine. The goalkeeper when English got there, but not before Alcine made him think about it.
Yeah, you put pressure on him to not be able to connect the ball from there.
Right. And then the Tide get it back, so they're still threatening. Cruz, again, working in a telephone booth, using that size that you talked about. And now it's Alcine. Nice idea. No one there. And that call.
Jonty picking up 2 fouls from Lynn, and one might be a penalty here.
Yeah, let's see if that's in the box. Yes, they are.
Yep.
Oz, they are setting up a penalty kick,
Yep.
and it looks like the Crimson Tide's number 10, Luan Cruz, will take that kick. So much to the ire of the Lynn English sideline, they do not like the call. But nonetheless, Jante just checking into the game. 2 quick fouls.
It was a bad foul. There was no need to clip from behind. It's one that you don't want to call because it's such a soft one, but it's a penalty.
And Cruz buries it. He finishes it off. Ball's in the back of the net. And just like that, the Crimson Tide now up 2-0. 25 minutes into the first half. Luan Cruz now with the Crimson Tide goal.
Yeah, they're upset, but there was a clip. It was a foul. It was not a harsh foul at all, but it was definitely a clip, and it happened in the box.
Yeah, you gotta be extra careful in the box.
Yeah.
You always have to think, the discretion of the play you can make. Unless if you're really guaranteed you can get there first, you gotta really be careful because any foul in the box, whether you like it or not.
As a coach, you hate those because they're like tiki-taki fouls. They're just soft, and your defenders need to know because attackers are gonna hit the ground on those.
Right.
Rightfully so.
They're going to put the pressure on the officials to make that call. So there it is. So the Tide now benefiting on that, up 2-0, and doing a nice job defensively as well. Like I said, we're unofficial with the clock. There isn't a scoreboard here, but we're about a little over 25 minutes into the first half. Nice pass out front to Garcia. Leaves it to Alcine. Alcine now. You said it earlier, though, Oz. It seems like the Tide, they are hugging the left side of the field. And it looked like they were going to maybe try to go that way before that ball came back. But would be nice to see if they can open up the other side. I think they'd really start to take off with their chances offensively. Nonetheless, playing well, playing tough.
Yeah.
So it's English ball on the foul to Jante. Richard Jante is a senior. Well, here comes English. Nice job again. John Perkins doing a really nice job.
Yeah, that was a good take from him, because that would have been an easy. The attacker should have tapped it real quick and put it in the back, but
Right.
slow down a little bit, and Perkins was able to get there.
Yeah. But, I mean, Perkins is the only one there. I mean, makes a move on him. He's going to be looking at him and Reyes, and that's it.
Well,
so
he had a head start on him.
sure did.
Yeah.
Corner's a little long, played on by Emerson Hercules. And that's headed over, but no one's there. Alcine clears it out. Bulldogs get it back, but Tide able to get back defensively, kind of settle in. That's a deep shot. Wow, what a save by Reyes. And what a shot. Number 12.
Great recovery, too. It was a great shot. Dom was able to get the ball back.
That's right. He kept
that ball never went out of bounds.
Right.
The attacker was there, and Dom was on the ground.
That's especially a great point, Oz, because you could still set up the other team with a very fat corner kick, and not only did he make the spectacular save, keeps it in play. Ooh, that's a handball, yeah. But a nice shot by number 12 of English. That was a good 25 yards out, 30 yards out.
Yeah, I think that's 4 or 5 saves for Dominic already.
He went from not seeing any the first 20 minutes to he's been tested the last few possessions. He's come up with some big ones.
Yeah, I think Everett's got to pay attention to those shots and make sure that they stay on top of Lynn to prevent those from happening, because it looks like a couple of them can place the ball well.
Oh, yeah. And then you make sure you want to have guys back there for any rebound opportunities as well. Yeah. Again, Dom's done a good job of not allowing those, but a couple more fastballs coming his way, it's going to be hard. You just want to try to make the save. You got to have your defense clean up the rebounds if you can. Tide doing a good job. Meireles, that's Jante.
Good move, kept the ball in.
Now, Alcine has some good size too. He's got great speed and size.
That's what I want to see.
And the save is made off the shot from Hercules.
The quality of the finish wasn't there, but the idea was there. You see how the Lynn defense left that gap open for the shot. That's
right.
what you want to see.
And it especially seemed like it was there because the Tide have been hugging that other side, so maybe Lynn's shading that side now, opening up a lane across the field. So it's a 2-0 Crimson Tide lead. 30 minutes have been played here in the first half. First goal was scored by Guilherme Moraes. And the second goal was scored on a penalty kick by Luan Cruz. Oh, nice play by Meireles. What a play. Nice touch over to Jante. Jante leaves it for Alcine.
There you go.
Great pass. That's to Yariel Santos.
Another great pass. The lead ball right there. Nobody moved there.
Good setup.
But Everett maintains possession there. Should take a shot. Should take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
He had the shot on his right. It was a good move. Number 18 sneaking in that
Yeah,
gap.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Job, Cruz. Santos. Over to
Falcine can
Hercules.
sneak in right now. Falcine can sneak in right now. There, he's got the ball.
That's another hand, yeah.
Yeah. The movement looks much better since the second goal for Everett.
Yeah, it does. And there's a strong. They're also dictating the pace of the game too. You can see it.
Yeah.
They've really controlled the pace. Outside of a couple of those chances, and Reyes came up big in net for the Tide. But otherwise, I mean, the pitch has definitely been tilted in Everett's favor.
Ooh, they let that go on.
Yeah. Well. Oh, nice hustle, Santos. Oh, that was a beautiful.
Well done. That was well done. He hustled for that one.
Yeah, he did. He hustled for that one. He put everything into it, and that took a great save for that to not be in the back of the net.
There's not much of a difference between that shot and the first goal by Moraes.
Right.
The only difference was the goalie moved on it, but
Yeah.
that same gap in the defense,
Sure,
where nobody's there.
It's consistent. It's been there. So we have a corner kick coming up. Patrick Garcia will put his right foot into this. You can see, looks like Dan Cadet is trying to get some separation out front. Santos has it. Cadet tries to put his foot into it. Ball's out front, cleared out by the Bulldogs. We do have some. Dorley Joseph is now into the game for the Crimson Tide, number 23. Looks like we're going to have a foul there as Garcia hits the ground hard, or Cruz rather.
Lynn has been on the defensive end virtually this entire half. I imagine that their legs are starting to get tired, and they're going to start arriving late on the tackles. We've seen a couple of fouls already.
It's good stuff. That's a good note because they've been playing D the whole time, so that's got to definitely take a little more gas out of your tank.
It's just less fun. Like
Right.
it's hard to get adrenaline going correctly when you're
Can't get any rhythm going on the other end. Right.
when the ball's at your feet. It's easier to feel it,
Right.
like to be moving forward.
That's a good point.
Having to constantly go back, like it's just difficult.
So it's not even just the physical part; it's the mental.
Yeah,
It's just mentally draining. And that's going to go out of bounds. We're going to throw it down to our sideline reporter. All right, so the throw-in. And that's out of bounds. Going to be Crimson Tide ball. Garcia will handle the throw-in. Gets it up, looking up for Meireles. Oh, nice touch to Cadet. Cadet now utilizing some open space in the field.
and there it is again.
Oh,
Yep.
I love the idea on that.
Yeah,
He was looking to find Brian Martinez. Good look. And it is Crimson Tide ball, so they're still right where they want to be. Touch pass from Meireles back out to Martinez.
but at this moment, who's number 4?
Number 4 is Patrick Garcia.
Patrick Garcia is where I would love to see him a little bit wider to give Alcine a little bit more space.
Right. Because then you're going to attract another defender in that area
Yep.
as well. You want to keep the field spaced. Nice touch right there. Again, we've talked about these two. You see that hard work paying off. Yeah, Alcine's game smooth.
Yeah, that's a good find. That's a really good find. Under pressure, was able to find Luan.
Yeah, you got to like the Crimson Tide size. Like you talked about Cruz, and you got Alcine has got good size. Garcia's a sophomore. He's got good size.
Yeah.
Ricardo Almeida, number 14, another sophomore. I mean, you got some really, really good size out there for the Crimson Tide. Blending with speed as well. Bulldogs now on the move. This is number 1, looking to center it. That's actually a nice find right there. Looking for number 18. And we're going to get a foul. So that's going to set them up with a set piece just outside the box, which, again, these can be very hairy, too, if you're the Crimson Tide.
Two center backs got split there. John had applied pressure, and the defense didn't collapse quick enough.
So the Crimson Tide defensively, what's their play here? I mean, you're trying to just block the ball from getting there, or is it a quick react to the rebound? A little bit of both?
Well, you got to react. As long as everybody has an idea of what the team is supposed to do, whether they're trying to block it. I've always preferred don't move as much. That allows the – yeah, see, that's good.
Right there. The wall takes it right in the midsection, turns it aside.
But it's usually that second reaction.
Right.
If you get caught ball watching, that's where the goals start falling.
But it's a catch-22 as well, right? Because, I mean, you also, like, your goalie has to try not to get screened by his own guys, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's
so
got to try to
Dominic
see
has to set that up completely.
those sight lines, right?
Yeah, he has to make sure that the wall is where he wants it. He could see where he wants it. It's blocking the area he wants.
Right.
And I know they work on that a lot. I know Coach Prizzuti, who was a goalie in college, he works on that often.
That's right. Dom Prizzuti. Yeah, I know Dom well. He's with me on the 5th floor at the high school.
Yeah.
5th floor crew. Best floor in the school, as far as I'm concerned.
I float, so I'm all around. So
I see you up on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
It's always a rush when you're up there, Oz. I love it, man. Nice job by the Tide, trying to get it out. Good job defensively. So we have some wholesale changes coming in. Looks like for both teams. So we are almost at intermission.
Great move from Cadet.
Give or take a few minutes here again, working without a scoreboard, but right around 40 minutes of live time. I know we had a couple of stoppages there, so we might have like a +2 or a +3. But right now the Tide are on the move. Cadet puts a good foot into that one. That's wide of the net, but again, you can see the scoring power that is provided on the leg of Dan Cadet. He's a senior. You can see some good communication from the Crimson Tide as they're talking to their players, just letting them know where to slide down to and maintain their assignments.
Cadet, Perkins, Dominic, they all came in at the same time. They played their freshman year on the freshman team, and I think a lot of them made varsity the following year. But they were always kind of tagged in that they were going to make varsity at some point and make a large impact.
Yeah, well, they have. This is a good Crimson Tide team. It's definitely, like I said, it has a really good blend of senior leadership and experience to go along with some really talented underclassmen, too. Anytime, always a good thing a coach would love to have. So some really nice things. And then some very good play in net from Reyes, who's a senior. So, yeah, some good things going on here for the Crimson Tide. They're out in front, 2-0. We are nearing the end of this first half. English trying to get something before halftime. And that is turned aside.
Great step by Jefferson. He's another one. He made varsity his freshman year.
That's right, Jefferson Mattal. Really nice play right there.
His older brother Brian played a few years ago as well.
I remember that name. That's right. I thought that was a name familiar as well.
Yeah. He was a 3-year member of varsity, I believe, Brian.
It's often is a family affair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty par for the course.
There's a couple of people. So you have Jefferson, whose older brother is Brian, who played 3 years. We have Perkins, whose older sisters played on the varsity team for the girls. Samantha and Stephanie.
Wow, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's wow, okay. I know his sisters, yeah.
You have Meireles, whose older brother is Gabe,
That's
uh,
right.
who played 1 year for us.
And he was
Uh,
really good.
They were very talented.
Yeah.
Both of them are very, very talented players.
That's why I thought that was a name I knew too. Gabe Meireles. I remember
Yep.
that. Meireles. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was good. Very talented.
Yeah,
A lot of talented families there.
He actually, that team helped lead us to one of our best seasons. I think we finished 4-4, and we finished in the quarterfinals.
That's the year we battled Lincoln Sudbury.
No,
Okay.
that's the following year
Okay.
when we beat Framingham.
Okay.
And then we battled Somerville.
Somerville.
Yeah.
And that is the halftime whistle. There is a player down for Lynn English, but those multiple whistles do signal halftime. And at the half, it's the Crimson Tide on top, 2-0. Oz, any quick wrap-up thoughts from this first half?
I think as long as they maintain that possession and are patient and looking for the gaps in the defense and keep creating those gaps by switching the ball, I think Lynn English is going to be tired. So I think they'll see more goal-scoring opportunities if they remain patient.
Well, definitely a good place to be if you're a fan of the Crimson Tide. And if you're Lynn English, you're going to have to turn up some of the aggression in the second half to try to get back into this one. 2-0 Crimson Tide. We're at halftime. We'll be back with more action still to come here in the second half. We're back in action. Second half underway. Always a quicker halftime than you think, as Oz and myself just found our seats. But hey, we're here. Crimson Tide starting the second half up 2-0. And at this point, Oz, do you change anything in your game plan? Do you play more of a chew up the clock style, or listen, you just play and go out there and score what you can?
Yeah, no, you don't change the game plan at that point. You just try to tell your team where the holes are, try to take advantage of the holes, what we have to fix, and just continue attacking. In high school, 2 goals can disappear very, very quickly. 2 goals is basically a 10-minute mental lapse.
Sure.
So you want to continue to attack.
So while you always want to be the team up 2-0, it can still be a little bit of a deceiving thing, like you haven't done it just yet, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, Cadet. Oh! The Tide almost had one, looking for the one-timer off the post.
I am positive he wished he could have a do-over on that one.
Yeah, he was right in the doorstep. That was to number 8. That was Moraes. Right? Yeah, that was Moraes.
Yeah.
Beautiful pass. Watch out for the Poochie. I thought the Nikita was going to make a play on that one. If she was paying attention, I think she would. There's a good look at Dan Cadet. I like his game a lot. I know I've talked about it ad nauseum, but smooth. I like a lot of the games out here by the Crimson Tide. A lot of smooth skill sets, man.
Yeah, it's a very skillful team. Yeah. He just got sandwiched. He beat them. It was a good move, exactly what you want to see from your left back. Cut right into the goal. I don't think that was a strategic foul, but it was a good foul on their part because he had them beat.
Slowed him down, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, good bid. Just a little high, but I never have a problem on those kicks. To me, that's what you're doing. You're trying to go for it as opposed to setting someone up. I think your best bet is to try to
you're that
net
close.
those in, right?
Yeah, you're that close. You want to take a shot.
So it's a good bid.
Yeah.
You got to go a little high on it, otherwise it's going to get stuck in the wall. So that's you don't have much of a window to squeeze those in, right?
Yeah.
Now you can see that wind playing a little bit into those goal kicks coming out. Trying to get a good look at the flag. I feel like it's blowing across, like going left to right.
Good win by Perkins. Another one by Meireles.
touched on by Cruz out of play. It's going to be Bulldogs ball. Good communication. You could see Cruz directing Martinez where to be.
I feel like the wind has definitely picked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. You're seeing it even on throw-ins. I mean, anytime that ball gets a little bit of height, it's knocking down. Again, if you're watching this broadcast, looks like the wind's going from your left to right. And you can see the flags on top of what would be the football goalposts. Those are only the flags I see right now, but they're going in that direction. So for the Lynn English goalkeeper, he's going to be kicking into the wind.
Yeah. It was a good ball movement. Starting over here with Luan, moving up to Meireles and Moraes.
And again, Oz looked like catching the English defense kind of sleeping right there. Quick throwing, goes right to Cadet. And, like, it was really the reaction of the goalie that kept that aside. Was English not ready? I mean, it looked like they weren't ready to go.
That's the second time the goalies had to cover up for the mistake of the defense there.
I told you, this English goalie is good. I saw him last year. He can make some plays. Good speed there by Tarek Lamedzma. He went down. Is it just out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't call any foul. I thought there was a little clip there, but I imagine they don't want to make this a game about penalties there unless there's something drastic there.
Sure, something really egregious.
I'm also watching it from the other side, so it might have been nothing at all.
Hey, that's okay.
Cruz getting up there for the win.
Nothing wrong with the Crimson Tide goggles, my friend.
Ooh.
Oh, that's chipped in. Wow, and again, see, that's where the wind's taking that a little bit, right? You know, because, again, it's going that way. So Crimson Tide are kicking with the wind.
Yeah.
But, again, you might want to be mindful of that on these goal kicks. Guys coming up, play that ball shorter. Play it about 10 to 15 yards shorter than where you think it's going to go. The wind's pretty strong right now. Watch this ball get hung up if there's some height. Look at that. It's going to come right back down. Nice job by Martinez.
Yep, good placement of the ball.
Meireles blows a wheel.
Ooh, I didn't see a foul there.
Yeah. We'll play on. Trying to see what time, real time, this half started. Let's see. It's about
Guy with the ball, but they don't have the numbers. Good find. Good switch to see if anybody cuts. Good cut. Ooh. That final ball needed to be better, but the ideas were correct.
played on nicely by Cadet. Cruz looking for someone out front. Oh, nice pass.
That was such a great find.
That was beautiful.
And that was such a great finish as well. That
Great
was Meireles right there.
Guy Meireles on a great ball from Luan Cruz.
Yeah. It was a great find, that gap, and he was just cutting. And that's what you want to see more of. Those holes are getting bigger, and now if they keep cutting in, they should see some goals.
And then Meireles put it on the beautiful scoring touch. 3-0 Crimson Tide.
The quality of that finish was great, too. He was very, very calm.
That's a second goal.
I believe so.
Yeah, he had the first one.
No, Moraes had the first one.
Hey, see, it gets me again.
I'm
sure that happens to those two, huh?
Yeah.
They're both really good, too, so, like.
They might be the leading scorers right now for Everett. I could be wrong.
Good catch on that, Oz. Oh, nice play by Cadet. Now it's Lamedzma. Oh, off the post. Tide really starting to turn it up now.
Great decision. The Tide defense hasn't seen too much active, but we need to comment on the fact that like whenever they have the ball, they've been able to connect passes, and they've been able to find their midfielders because you want to get that ball in Cruz's feet, Moraes' feet, Meireles' feet, so they can make decisions for you. And again, the cuts, you're starting to see the Lynn defense get tired.
Yeah, that seems to be evident early on here as the Tide really coming up with the chances
Great.
now offensively.
Oh. Ooh, it was shoulder, but that risky play there. It was shoulder. I couldn't see exactly where on the shoulder, but I know it was shoulder.
Yeah, oh yeah. But not by much.
Yeah.
Had some hair on it too. That ball was hit. It's been all Tide so far in the second half. English has yet to really get past midfield with the ball. Oh! I think that caught his own guy. It hit Lemetsma. Bulldogs trying to get something going.
Good
Nice
win
D by Martinez. Good win is right. Nicely done. Sent up the field by Matal. A little bit of gamesmanship, if you will.
Yeah,
Just
just
the goalkeeper and cadet. Hey,
make the goalie earn it.
sure. Wind actually appears somewhat calm at this moment. Cruz, nice vertical getting up. Good job to poke it back. Martinez now there defensively. And Cadets now has it with room.
Good defense.
Very good defense. Number 12 of the Bulldogs over to 5. Good hustle, good D. Still playing hard. I give him credit.
Good
3-0
stop.
game right now.
Ooh.
Crimson Tide on top. We're about 10 minutes into the second half. And Patrick Garcia hits the ground. Looks like he took that maybe to the shin, knee area.
Believe so. The second time he's been hit, so a little
That's
concerning.
right. Yeah, he had the collision earlier.
It's one of the tough parts about high school soccer in Massachusetts. It's 18 games in 2 months, and I know that they're young and they got fresh legs, but 18 games is a lot. Doesn't give a lot of chance for recovery.
Sure.
You get banged up, and most of these guys will keep playing throughout injuries, but you want to go into the playoffs as healthy as possible, and that's virtually impossible.
Yeah, that's a solid point, Oz. You're right. That's a lot of games in a short amount of time. I know next week they got, I think Monday and Tuesday they're back to back. I mean, anytime you go back to back, you can be as young and as your prime as you want. Back to back, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
18 games in 2 months is that too. You know, lactic acid will still build up, man. You know, you got to recover. Got to get the BHCCs, get your recovery up. Here we go. Here's Martinez. Oh, nice run right there. Roberto Racinos showing some good motor. Nicely poked on by Cruz, just still keeping it down there.
Good take.
Right now, you're Everett.
Good recovery.
Right. You're playing the recoveries right now because now you're up 3, right? And at this point where you might have their legs a little bit heavy and just the mental state also getting frustrated on the other end, right? I mean, This is your chance to really take full command.
So right now, if you see the gap between 12-18 and the left back, that's where Everett really wants to take advantage. That hole is huge right now.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Between the left back and the center back.
Yeah, so like even Martinez could like crash it on a pass, like
Yeah.
a centering pass.
You have obviously deep.
And drop it.
Is Moraes?
Well done.
Oh, that is well done. Right on cue, they're playing it, right?
Yeah.
They pinched it down. That
Yeah.
was well done.
Ooh, a high kick.
Yeah. And that's going to draw a yellow card to number 19 for the Bulldogs. And taking the high kick, again, that is Guilherme Moraes.
Yeah, it wasn't malicious, but it was just poor IQ there. Foot too high. Should have put his head on there.
So Moraes receives his treatment, walks off to the field. He appears to be okay. The trainer, he's walking without too much of a hitch, appears to be all wits about him. But yeah, it was a high kick. Again, you mentioned inadvertent, but call nonetheless, as it would be. And it's going to be Luan Cruz putting his foot into this set piece. What's the play here, Oz? Go deep.
Try to get it on somebody's head.
Do that.
Oh.
Do that. I mean, that was a good hit, right?
Yeah.
Cruz looking for Meireles. And just missed that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Again, something I bet he wishes he could have back. It was a great placement and great movement by the two of them.
You've seen some good, again, the set pieces have been nice tonight too, really. It's been a lot to like with the red and gold tonight. And still things that they can, of course, always get better at too, but definitely a good performance overall. Have to be happy. Bulldogs will throw it in. Well, that looked like it slipped out. I don't think he meant for that to happen. So the Crimson Tide now throw it in. Cruz will touch it on. Nice move. Right in front of the Crimson Tide bench. Another nice move. Cruz going coast to coast. Oh, centers it. Oh, beautiful touch by Cadet. Out in front to Martinez.
Wide open. That's what you want to see, though. That's the build-up you want to see. Great movement from the midfield. Quick passes up top, and going right to goal.
Very nicely done. They moved that ball very quickly up the field, and it was just touch, touch, touch. I mean, it's beautiful. Corner kick upcoming. Is that Matal taking this one? Yeah, I think it's Jefferson.
Knowing a couple of these plays, there's a lot of people that take the corners, can take the free kicks, and place the ball really well with a lot of power.
I mean, even that's right on cue. That ball was dropped right in there, right?
I know Jefferson can do it. I know both Gees can do it.
Yeah.
I know Luan can do it.
What an advantage it is to have that kind of depth there, right? I mean, that's beautifully done. That ball had nice arc coming in. And you just went through the list of about 4 or 5 guys that can do it. I mean, that's impressive. That was nicely done. Three 0 Crimson Tide. And we are about 18 minutes into the second half. That's cleared down the length of the field.
Also have an injured player, I should note. There's a Lynn English player down on the field around midfield. All right, looks like we're back in play. Again, the wind now has died down considerably.
It's a great win.
Nice job by Santos. Meireles. Nifty move up the sideline. Out to Cadet.
Our midfield is very calm with the ball. Very confident with the ball.
That's the good word to use it too, calm. I like that. Like a
Yeah.
patience about them, you know? They're just kind of like, it's not a hot potato.
Helps that they know they have several players that can do the same thing and that they know they can all hit great passes. It's a good win.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Just picked at the last moment. That was, I like the idea, though. He was looking for the trailing Cadet
Yep.
crashing up top. That was, if it got to him, that was going to be, it's going to have some velocity, velo coming at you. Oh, nice touch.
Great touch. Oh, finish it with your left. Oh, just wide.
Oh, man.
Just wide.
Again, pretty stuff, though.
He did a good job of getting composed and taking a good shot, not blowing it over. Just a little wide, but
And we have a really good look at that. Like, we could see that
Yeah.
kind of materialize with the angle in front of us. And, man, that was right there. Nice look upfield by 5, over to 9. Played on defensively nice by Almeida, along with Jefferson Mattal.
so
And we've called a lot of different numbers for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, again, evidence to what you've said about their depth, right? I mean, they've gone into their bench. We've seen a lot of different players contributing here and doing so very nicely. Ooh, oh. I thought that was going to play into a breakaway for Meireles.
mm-hmm.
Santos pokes it away over to Cruz, over to Perkins. Perkins now.
Good find.
I'm looking for one. I'm looking for one. Looks like that throw's going to come.
Yeah, the ball went out a little bit before the gate.
Yeah.
A little miscommunication there. You could hear Geet saying he wanted to drop it off.
Sent high into the air. And that's played on by Cadet over to Santos. Through the legs. Now Bulldogs have it.
Let's see how the defense resets here. Now, Lynn has been playing the field very small. They haven't been utilized the right side of the field at all this half. Everett's done a good job of remaining contained, but
Good D by Cadet, able to slow that down a little bit. I think they were trying to go for a deeper look. Santos.
couldn't get his foot on it.
Right. Good hustle, though. Getting right back into it. Nice
Yep.
job.
Good job setting his feet, getting in front of him. Like to see your forwards going and applying pressure there.
Sure. Getting back defensively and helping out.
Dom should pick this up without an issue.
Crimson Tide still on top, 3-0.
I think this might be the first time Dom's touched the ball in this half.
Yeah, it is. They haven't been down there much, so he had about 4 or 5 saves in the first half. He had that flurry, that little burst where it got close. He had to come up with some big saves, but he has not been tested the second half. You pointed to it in the first half, Oz. You talked about how the legs are going to start to get heavy for Lynn English, and just the fact that they've been back defensively is going to start to wear on them, and you're seeing it happen in the second half.
Here.
Good touch out front. He was looking for number 21, Archie Jante.
I think the wind is impacting the balls in the air right now, and if they get it onto the ground.
Oh, nice move. What a great move by Cadet.
It's a good collapse for the defense.
Well, you're right. I mean, the wind is back. You know, I mentioned just a few positions. It was calm for like a moment, but yeah, I don't think it's ever going to just stay calm down here. That appears apparent, right? But it's definitely picked up. It's amazing how you can see its effect as soon as that ball gets in the air. It really does. I mean, I guess a soccer ball really isn't that heavy.
No.
It's not as heavy as a football, and even a football can be affected by the wind, but a soccer ball is lighter. And those are two, you know. Oh, what a save. That was a nice save.
It's a good save.
Tide's still there, though, threatening, right out in front. Ooh, still out there.
Oh, it was a good
point.
setup. It was a good setup.
Extra point is good.
Yeah.
It was a good setup. Again, another, like, I have not been disappointed by, like, any of the Crimson Tide corners today. The ball's, like, it's a good bid every time. I mean,
we're winning, which is great, but there's been at least 3 times where just to finish a little bit clearer, cleaner.
Wasn't that the best thing you always have as a coach? Like, you play well, but there's still enough things that, like, you can talk to your team about and keep them focused on and hungry so you don't rest up. I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Because those are the goals in the playoffs.
That you need.
Those little opportunities. It comes down to
when you're
little
in a
mistakes,
game,
the little quality. That's the big mistake. That's the biggest pressure there.
You're locked up with the St. John's prep. You know, can't be any margin for error, right?
Yeah.
A Lincoln Sudbury, a Somerville, you know, a Lynn Classical. I mean, you know, I look forward, you know, I'm curious to see the next time the Tide play Classical, the Rams, and see what comes of that. It's their only loss so far in the season, a 3-1 game.
Classical usually plays a very defensive, organized, structured team. Like, you have to be patient with them. The mistakes will come, but they're very well organized.
Sure.
Very well organized.
And we said it before the broadcast, though. I mean, Lynn English, one of Classical's only losses is to Lynn English, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, a lot of times it's a game of matchups and how you play that day.
Yeah.
It's a greater Boston League. There's a lot of good soccer played here. So, I mean, you have to show up. There's really no easy check marks in your schedule. You can't just show up and not have it and expect to – it's just going to be easy. I'm sure there were some games that, you know, you had thoughts on in your career, like, oh, man, you know, playing a lesser opponent, but we didn't have it today, and I'm sure things got hairy sometimes, right? You know?
Yeah.
Got to have it.
The focus has to be there from the beginning, from training.
That's right.
Because, like I said, with 18 games, it's easy to look ahead and start thinking about another team, and you can't do that because the quality of the teams in the GPL are high.
And it is easy to do it. I mean, especially when you're a younger kid. I remember being there. You know, it's easy to lose focus. You always look at the games that are circled on your schedule, but you got to look at all of them, you know. Nice job by the goalie to punch it out deep. Again, Tide just quickly playing it on. And there's the fourth goal right there. And that is the second goal this time for Guilherme Moraes. And again, Oz, what it seemed like there was a bit of a miscommunication or maybe attentiveness, but Tide capitalized. They're ready.
Yep.
Quick passes, not wasting any time, quick touches up the field. You got to like what you see there.
Yeah, and Guy can finish, and it was set up by the other Guy. And it was a great through ball. The Lynn didn't react quick enough. But tip your hat to the quality of the finish and the quality of the pass.
So again, that's Meireles' second goal here this afternoon. Nice pass from Moraes, who also has a goal. And it's Luan Cruz with the other goal. Crimson Tide on top, 4-0. We are about 30 minutes into the second half on my Josh Delgazo scoreboard. Let's say I was about like 5:18, I think we pretty much. We got here right as the ball was dropping, so it's quick.
I would like to see us utilize this space over here. You see how open it is right now?
Well, again, this is the right side of the field. See, on the other half, it was opposite our side, right?
Yep.
And so Everett definitely walks that tightrope a little bit more on the left. But you can see.
But the whole space up here, I don't know where our fullback is right now, but our fullback should be taking up that space, sneaking in.
The sun is setting in the background here, so pretty nice shot.
See right there. Even though he didn't receive the ball originally, Garcia just being in that space makes the openings on the left side happen. So just being in the right side of the field, the defense has to pay attention to that. And when they're shifting, you'll see gaps opening on the other side. You want to take up as much space as possible.
Yeah. It's a good call, Oz. Pretty good one-on-one battle right there. Nice defense, but also nice job by Garcia. That was a good battle. Both guys playing hard, playing the right way. I like that. Good action. Back to the goalkeeper. The Tide just continuing to keep pressure on Lynn English, just forcing the hand every time. Garcia, who's had a really strong game.
Yeah, he's got to give that ball up a little bit quicker there, though. It was a good take, but if he could work a give and go there, he'll get a better opportunity for a shot.
Perhaps learning
good win
for the sophomore, right? He's a sophomore.
He's played really well this game.
Yeah, yes. Well, you like a defense, he's listed as defense, but
great ball. Oh. Somebody finish that. We need to react to that. We can't let the goalie drop that and not finish it. But it's those little opportunities right there where in this game where we're winning is wonderful. Goalie switch right now. But those little drops, the goalie dropping it right there in a more competitive game, that's the difference right there. You got to capitalize off of mistakes.
And receiving a nice hand, that was goalkeeper Dominic Reyes, who has a shutout to his name today. And he's earned it. I mean, he was tested in the first half. Now into the game, number 99, Sean Schiek. And a corner kick. And again, it's our guy, Garcia.
Ooh, good find.
Another, I mean, it's been like that every time. Good find. headed on by Moraes just over the net.
And again, I'm sure he wishes he could have that one over again, because he was able to get right in front of his defender, and the ball was placed right on his head. He didn't even have to jump for that one.
Yeah, I like Garcia's game a lot. He's checking out of the game now. He's replaced by Richard Jante, but to have a defenseman that can, have that kind of scoring prowess to him, right? I mean, obviously you're known for playing defense, but I'm sure you don't mind having someone like that can get
well
up.
Done. That was a good pass.
This is Jante back to Cadet.
Oof. It was a good ball by Jonte.
That was a good ball. That was a good ball, too. I don't have a number 20 on my program, but number 20, Crimson Tide, put his left foot into that one. It's a pretty good strike.
Must have just gotten the call up.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe up from the JV.
Find it.
Looked like Jante and Dorley Joseph kind of running the same route there, but good hustle.
Yeah, Joseph needed to recognize that Jonte had the space there.
Nice touch.
Good find by Cadet. I think Cadet, Reyes, Perkins, I think they all played town soccer together since they were young.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, again, call me if I've talked about it ad nauseum, but it does seem like there's a special chemistry with this group. They just seem to, they have a feel of each other's game down very well. They know where they're going to be, and you can see it. You can see it from the give and goes, where they're getting to before the ball, the spacing. It's been a delight to see. This is impressive. It's a 4-0 game right now, and again, my clock's unofficial, but I'd say there's about 5 minutes left in this game from when this second half started. We're about 35 minutes in. 4-0 Crimson Tide. I still think, this is still a solid Lynn English team, It's
both Lynn teams are always going to be scrappy and well-structured.
Right.
Sometimes the talent level is very high, sometimes it's not. But they're usually organized and physically strong.
Right. I agree with that.
We haven't seen Alcine in the second half, have we?
No, we have not, which has probably been, a good benefit for them to have, because I know the Crimson Tide have some big games coming up next week. I believe they're at Somerville on Tuesday. They're here Monday hosting, and then they're at Somerville Tuesday.
That's tough.
I forget who they're playing Monday, but I
That's
know.
a great move by
Oh,
Cruz.
nice.
Finish that.
Wow. And Luan Cruz now with his second goal of, I guess now it's the evening, right? We're into the evening hours, aren't we, sunsetting? And that's 5-0.
But it was a great move. Was able to turn it around, and what I like to see was that we had 3 players crashing the box. Because again, to go back to one of the earlier plays when the goalie dropped the ball, you want to have 3 players in there to finish something. You want to be hungry.
Clean up the mess. Often it's rebounds that find their way into the back of the net, isn't that right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that wasn't the case there, but that's what you saw. And that will do it.
It's a good win. It's a good win. You saw a lot of great ball movement. You saw a lot of chemistry. And I liked what we said in the first half. They weren't switching the ball over. I thought they did a great job of switching the ball over in the second half.
I mean, you talked about that. You got some of that cleaned up in the second half. You talked about the chemistry. We both did. How could you not? It was easy to observe. You could just see the way the Crimson Tide played. You had 2 goals scored each by Guilherme Moraes and Luan Cruz, with Guilherme Moraes adding the other goal. Mm-hmm. And the Crimson Tide making it happen, 5-0. That's a pretty good way to do it, Oz. I really enjoyed having you here for the broadcast. A lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite. I'd love to do it again. This was fun. I miss coaching, so being able to watch it has been great.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you'll be back in the saddle with me, Oz, when we do our next game. I'll absolutely have you, providing our schedules, align. I'll make sure. We'll talk. We'll get it squared away. But, yeah, you're in the saddle. You did a great job.
All right. Thank you.
And that's going to do it here from 7 Acres Park in Everett with the final score, Everett 5, Lynn English 0. We want to thank you for joining us for Soccer Night on EHS TV 15. We'd like to give a special thanks to our central administration, Superintendent of Schools Priya Tahiliani, Deputy Superintendent Kim Sai, Assistant Superintendents Charles Obremski and Kevin Shaw, Chief Financial Officer Anu Madapa Jayanth, Budget and Grants Director Shirley Peng, Executive Associate of Project Implementation Adeline Celestin, Director of Remote Learning and Instruction Ann Auger, Director of Special Education William Donahue, Chief Equity Officer Corey McCarthy, High School Principal Eric Nauman, Vice Principal Dr. Andrea Tringali, Athletic Director Tammy Turner, and all the faculty and staff here at Everett High School. I'd also like to recognize our television studio, our director back in the studio, Bill Munier, and our cameraman this evening, Joe Camley. On behalf of my partner, Oswaldo Constanza, I'm Josh Delgazo. From all of us here at EHS TV 15, have a good one.